It's a trip how a lot of folks always say that there's a certain time that is good and a certain time that is bad. Like, can you imagine if everybody operated at a certain time and didn't in others? I mean, think about it for a second. They talk about spirits and ghosts and things of the unexplained. At that point, my opinion on that is, how much life do you give that situation? How much attention do you give? Okay, so something happens, you can't explain it. It is what it is. You just move on. I know through the time that I've been here in this beautiful rock we call Earth, I've encountered some things that were unexplainable. I never questioned it though. And now as a grown-up, all I got is just memories of a situation that I can share with those, who cross my path. I'm not going to tell you exactly where it's at, but because that's irrelevant, of course. But to just kind of entertain your thought, I believe it was in my teen years. We were being babysat for a couple hours before, one of my other parents would go and pick us up. Now, on this particular night, we had to go get babysat in a different town, which is located about 10 minutes away from where we live, on car, because if you walked back in those days, it would be almost roughly about I want to say 3 hours away. So there's a far, good distance from one place to another. And we were there, being teens that we are, small, tight-knit community. Our friends were located at that location too. So the babysitter was out and about, chatting up with the neighbors, and they let us go play outside, and we're out there playing. And mind you, the houses at that time were not that far away. I mean, we're talking about like mid-90s, where you can go out in the front yard and go a couple blocks down the road and everything will be all right. You can go hang out with your friends. We had bikes to get along, get from one place to another, skateboards and whatnot. Now, this particular night, they decided to throw like a barbecue, right? So, we're all having fun, doing our thing. And, the typical story of the, one kid who's the tough one and always challenging others to do things. And, we're just being teenagers, right? And when all of a sudden, this tough kid goes pale white, and we're like, hey, what's going on? What's going on with so-and-so? What's he looking at? And just then we all look up, and sure enough, in the sky, you see some lights that you can't comprehend. Till this day, I don't even know what kind of lights they were. All I'm saying is that it literally felt like you could almost reach out and touch it. What I found amazing now as a grown-up is, how is it that only us kids saw that, and yet when we went to go ask the grown-ups, they didn't see anything. Mind you, ironically, by then they were inside the house already, and by this time it was like 9:30, almost 10 p.m. at night. And let me tell you, that kind of put shivers down our spine, because we've never seen lights like that. I can't recall if it was a disc object, but it was lights. It was lights in the sky. Well, we kind of freaked out because these lights ended up going towards the fields, and a couple of them decided to follow. When they returned, they said that these lights ended up going into the aqueduct. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. My portion of the story is I saw some lights in the sky. Till this day, I don't know what it is I saw. But let's just say for mid-teens, it freaked us out. Just thought I'd throw a little story out there. So it's up to you how you take your situations. If you give it the time of day, then it will live in your mind for as long as you let it. If you can't explain it, then I would say don't dwell on it too much, but then just keep it as a story time tale. Don't stop, don't quit, keep moving forward.